You know what nobody tells interpreters? Momentum usually doesn't disappear because you stop trying. It breaks in one emotional moment. You're flowing, excuse me, you're doing your thing, and you finally feel like you're getting somewhere. And then one thing happens, one reaction, one miss sign or word or whatever, one awkward moment. One person says something and suddenly you pull back. And now you're questioning yourself again. Now you're slowing down again. Now you are feeling like you are back to the beginning. And if you ever experience that, this video is going to explain exactly what is happening, because right here, this is where most people lose momentum without even realizing it. So you know what? Yesterday we talked about momentum like a plane. How when it's taking off, how it needs that long runway to just build the speed to lift off, right? We used that analogy yesterday. And most people think that, okay, I just need to stay consistent, right? True, we do. Today, the difference we're going to be talking about, because sometimes you are consistent, you are showing up. Kudos. You are building momentum, and then emotionally, something throws you off. And that's the part we don't tend to talk about. And I really want us to emphasize and really focus on that, because this is the wild part, right? The thing that breaks momentum usually isn't big, as most people think. And that's the scary part, because someone looks confused at what you're saying, or you miss one thing. The clients interact differently. You post something online and nobody responds, and suddenly internally everything changes. How, you feel just one uncomfortable moment, all of a sudden you abandon yourself. Someone says something, is like, then you retreat, you stop showing up, you stop doing. You now thinking, okay, you make up this story of whatever they're thinking. But externally, right, nothing major has happened, but internally your nervous system has just gone, whoa, whoa, danger, danger. No, we don't do this. Now your body is tightening, your heart is going. Now you're hesitating, you're second guessing. You're like, oh, should I, would I, could I, would I? And then you push back externally from what's going on internally, right? So you don't stop physically first in those momentum states. You stop emotionally first. You stop in your head, in your thoughts, in your thinking, in how you're progressing the thing. So now let's go back to this plane analogy, right? Because yesterday we talked about building a momentum to lift up. But what about if there was turbulence in the air, where the plane is going down and the pilot is there, okay, put on your seatbelt or whatever that is, we're experiencing turbulence. This is an example of what's going on. We're just having turbulence, right? It doesn't mean the plane is failing. It doesn't mean that we're about to crash. Like, it just means we're going through some cloud, we're going through something that is just, the pilot needs to readjust. We need to stabilize. But we're continuing. But us, so say that happens, one emotional bump, and then we have to restart the whole thing. Then we're like locked down. We're not doing this anymore. We're feeling like, okay, no, no, like whatever. But if we're looking at the analogy of the plane, it's like we're stabilizing, we're still going, we're still moving, it's shaking, it's whatever, but we're working on it. Unfortunately, they don't panic during turbulence. When the pilot's doing that, it just stabilizes. They learn to stay the course, to be present through whatever is going on. Why can't the same be true for us when things happen? When someone says something to us, or when something happens, why do we feel we have to give up? We have to let go, and that's it. You're in mid assignment and something happens, it's like, that's it. Someone fingers fell so fast, it's like your blind goes blank, and now you're like, okay, second guessing your ability, your skills, how you can show up. Your colleagues feels more experienced, and now you're like, no, I'm not going to do this kind of job anymore. And then suddenly you feel watched. And now in your internal dialogue changes, oh no, oh my goodness, I'm losing this. People are going to think I'm crap, or I'm not ready for this. I need more practice. And it goes on and on and on. All this is just emotional retreat begins to happen. We're going through a turbulence in the moment. Doesn't mean it's a plane crash or it's a stop. And this is the trap I want us to understand that. So what do most people do? They stop the momentum just to feel safe. Okay, I guess nobody needs to see me anymore. Okay, I just need to take a break. I'll come back next year, carry on this course. I'll learn some more things. Oh, let me just disappear for a while. Let me get myself. Let me wait till I feel confident. They all sound logical, but your momentum has broken now. Again, momentum has broken when we do those kind of things. So you think you are protecting yourself when we do that. You think you're actually what you're actually doing is interrupting your growth. When that happens, we're just interrupting the growth. We're thinking, oh, it makes sense. Let me just take a break. Let me go improve my skill. Let me go. And honestly, this is what this whole series has been about. Where we started with a focus. What is it that you want? What is the thing that you desire to make happen in your life? What is the thing that you want to bring to yourself? And then we talked about the intention, right? So now that we know what the focus is, what is that intention that we're doing to make sure that we're following through, we're doing that. And then now that we're like, okay, this is what we're going to do, what we write, we invite. What do we need to do before, during, and after? We looked at that and then realized that, okay, focusing on hard. When we say hard, our brain just freezes. It's actually we're just unfamiliar with what's going on. Understanding that, and then we talked about momentum, how people don't give themselves the momentum to get that lift off, right? And here we are now talking about, okay, now we somewhat have the momentum, but now in the midst of turbulence, in the midst of whatever, we now freeze, we now just let things die or whatever. And we've reached the real thing beneath all of it, the emotional interruption. The moment you emotionally eject yourself from the whole thing. And this is the thing, most people don't fail because they are incapable. They fail because they are discomfort. They just can't deal with the change of who they become in that moment. And that is the shift. That's what we need to realize and understand, that momentum isn't built when things feel good. It is built when you stop abandoning yourself in difficult moments. Right? So now, the question now is, how do you actually stay present when discomfort shows up? How do you regulate in real time while things are collapsing internally? And that's what we're going to be talking about next. We're talking about that tomorrow. All right? So let's start figuring out, okay, how is our momentum breaking? We'll go deeper tomorrow. I am Nene. We do this every single day. Remember that your voice matters and it's your time to use it. Bye for now.